உலக நாடுகள் தயங்கிய பல மீட்பு சம்பவங்கள் பிரதமர் மோடி தலைமையில் இந்தியா துணிச்சலாக செய்து முடித்தது என அண்ணாமலை கூறினார்.
Even you call Modi ji to White House, you say great things about Modi ji. Our stand on Ukraine will not change. Because we are very clear, the stand we have taken on Ukraine is for the benefit of our country. Because we chose to have an independent foreign policy by looking at each global issue on a case-by-case basis, evaluating, seeing what is good for our country, doing it. So what is great about India's stand between Ukraine and Russia? Now Zelensky ji or Mr. Putin, from the both sides, they agreed to only 1% in the last 2 years of war to stop the war for 5.5 hours and gave us a window whereby 22,000 Indian students, they chose to go to 5 different parts of Ukraine, to the 5 neighboring countries. We flew them. From my state, Tamil Nadu, close to 2,200 students came, not even a scratch. Now, this is a news for powers, American powers or the French powers or the UK powers. How can a country like India talk to both Ukraine, talk to both Russians, stop the war in the peak of the war, take a window for 5.5 hours, send 5 different cabinet ministers to 5 countries around Ukraine, send our Indian Air Force planes, send Indigo planes, send Air India there, lift them on top. And if somebody thinks this is a fluke, if some Western powers think this is a fluke, okay, it just happened. And Modi ji had good rapport and he had good ambassadors, he was able to get it done. Now the second time, Sudan, middle of war, North Sudan, South Sudan and fight. The Khartoum airport is damaged, people struck. The first lot what we did, we removed most of the Karnataka Hakipiki friends from there. Along with them, the rest of Indian, South Indian friends mostly. From Kenya, we took them out, we got them into Saudi Arabia, we flew them out. That's how Americans did, that's how most people did. The second is something which no country attempted, even the global superpowers. We still had 300 people struck in Khartoum. Pregnant women, young children, old age people. Now in the old India, we would have left them to nature's devices. We would have said, please pray to God and God will come and help you, something will happen. That is the old India. Now that is why we used a name here, the making of new India. Now in this new India, when India clearly knows that 300 people are struck near Khartoum, there is a fight in the North Sudan, South Sudan, there is no way we can take them out to a neutral country like Saudi Arabia and fly them out. When Americans, 200 citizens were struck inside, Modi told the Indian Air Force, fly in. They said, sir, no runways damaged, TK land. No ATC, TK land. Use night vision goggles, go there. With a team of commandos we flew in. Pilots were wearing night vision goggles. These are all abilities of a great superpower. These are all the abilities that India is meant to do. At the peak of their powers, Russians and Americans would attempt something like that. They will try and do something like that at the peak of their power. This is a country like India operating across continent, operating in a new continent, sending an airplane, getting refueled somewhere in the middle country, landing in the middle of a war when ATC is not there, runway is damaged, taking 300 people into them, 37 minutes the flight turns back, lands in India. But very important is, the Americans told us, the American embassy in India told us, it is not reported in the paper. They said, since you are going anyways, I request you to evacuate our citizens also and bring them back. And for the very first time we are seeing a country entering into another country, the scale in which we operate, we bring not only the Indian citizens, we bring the American friends. So just don't imagine or think that Joe Biden is trying to appease India. Joe Biden ji is watching everything that is happening. He knows the operational capability India is acquiring. He knows very clearly what Modi ji's mind is. So they don't have any other option than to welcome India with open arms, because they know there is this very famous proverb. If you are with me, I am with you. If you are not with me, I will still go above you. So better you be friends with me. So this India is very new to everything. Not getting caught up in the global politics, not taking a stand, taking a neutral stand. When the European Union says, oh, you can't buy petrol from diesel from Russia, India says, why not? What is your problem? He says, no, but we all group of people, we have decided that Russia is in the wrong. Who decided? New York Times and Newsweek decided that Russia is in the wrong. Some editors chose to sit in their laptop and type Russia is in the wrong, human rights violation. They said, don't buy. India said, we will buy. What is your problem? We will buy because our country is growing. We need petrol and diesel. We can't afford to buy at $110 per barrel. We will buy because Russia is not only giving us cheap, it's a dependable ally for us. Then European Union said, okay, anyway, India is going to buy. Let me come with the second plan. They said, you buy, but don't buy it for more than $60 per barrel. Because if you buy for more money, Russia will come. So, you see the world, the way the global politics is changing. Now, without India, no global issue will get solved. India has to be a part of the solution for any global issue to get solved. That is why, in this year of G20 presidency, I'm not sure how many of you have come to India in the last 1 year and you've seen things that is happening in our country on the G20 front. Normally when G20 meetings happen, it will happen in the capital city. Like China. When China had the G20 presidents in the peak of COVID, what they did is, they evacuated one complete city. They moved 5 million people out of the city. They conducted a G20 meeting, one global meeting, finished, bye-bye. PM said, no, the G20 meeting will not happen in Delhi. The final meeting will happen in Delhi, that is a summit meeting. But the G20 meeting will happen across the country. Very first time, a Prime Minister said, the G20 meeting will happen in Mahabalipuram, will happen in Mysore, will happen in Jodhpur, will happen in Coimbatore, will happen in all parts of India because the G20 friends have to come and see India for themselves to understand what a beautiful civilizational history we have.